What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I am here to talk about and review. Probably gonna sound like a random film, but because my girlfriend just unloaded all of her VHSs and we're going through them, we found and decided to watch Spice World. I know. Now, this is the movie that I have seen once before as a kid. I barely remember it, but I couldn't put it on my movies I've never seen before because I'd be lying. It's just, even if I don't remember it, I still had seen it. This came out in 1997. This was directed by Bob Spears. And the plot. What plot? Which plot? I don't know how to describe this movie. It's about the band, the Spice Girls, who were so hot at the time. Don't get me wrong, they were very popular, sold so many records, and just at the top of the charts, and you couldn't go anywhere, honestly, without seeing the Spice Girls, without hearing their music, without seeing them on billboards and whatnot. So this movie is about their fame and about them on tour, about them doing their daily routines as superstars. They're trying to get some time off, so I guess that's one through line. Another through line is the tabloids, the guys who write the articles. They're sick of writing about the Spice Girls. They're sick of saying all these great things, how great they are, how many records have they broken. They contrive a way to try to break them up, or to try to get some sort of dirt and just to write something more scandalous about them. Also, you have a guy who's trying to shoot a documentary on the Spice Girls. And there's probably like a few more plots along the way that I'm just forgetting to mention right now. I will say this. What I think of Spice World, the movie, is, yeah. I can't say it's good, because I would be severely lying if I said that this was good. I will say that there is something kind of nostalgic about this movie. And I'm not even talking about in the sense of that I remember it, so I'm having all these feelings watching these scenes. No, I barely remember the film. I'm talking about, it's the music. The Spice Girls, yeah, maybe you guys can call me lame as hell for admitting this, but I do enjoy their music. The songs that I know, they're catchy, you know, they're easy lyrics to learn. You know, they're just something that you heard on the radio so much when I was a kid in the 90s. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing Wannabe and Spice Up Your Life. And so a lot of that, the music is in here. Even other songs that I vaguely knew but kind of remembered is throughout this movie. This film is practically a commercial for their albums and their number one songs. It's all over this movie, and I wouldn't call it a musical though, because it's either them practicing, performing, or rehearsing their songs, or it's them doing it on stage. It's not like they just break out into a random song in a random situation, telling the plot or going through them as actors. Let's go through the members of the band, shall we? We have Scary Spice, Posh Spice, Ginger Spice, Sporty Spice, and Baby Spice. Now, look, clearly they're not the greatest actors in the world, but there is something to say about them having chemistry. They do feel like a band that get along and know each other well. I mean, I hope they do, and they should, given their history. But there's nothing inauthentic about them as a group and their conversations together. It's probably how they really act in real life. So I guess that, in a sense, works. It's really just the writing, or probably lack thereof. All of these scenes of them doing nothing. It's them on their bus, their huge-ass, ginormous bus that shockingly doesn't have a bathroom. Like, how? How is a bus that big, but there's no bathroom in it? There's a scene where the girls all have to go out into the woods to pee, and they run into aliens. This is the type of stuff I'm telling you about. What is going on with this movie? Is this trying to be realistic? I know that it's silly and goofy. I know it's not to be taken seriously at all. I do, I get it. But them meeting aliens and the aliens asking for autographs and pictures and I think Ginger even kissed one of them. What? Whoa, what? The side plot of Alan Cummings actually playing the documentarian who wants to make this documentary. He's following them around. They don't seem to know about the documentary, I guess, because every time he's trying to get into the same place that they're in, he can't get in. Every time he tries to talk to them, they get separated, and he's always being let down by not pulling this thing off. And I don't know if I was supposed to feel bad for him, or laugh at him, or really what. Maybe this would be more interesting if he was the main character, and we were following him, and you had the Spice Girls more in the background. I don't know. I'm sure fans, though, wouldn't have enjoyed that. Richard E. Grant plays their tour manager. I could not believe that Richard E. Grant played, like, it's such a, I mean, he's a good actor, so I guess it makes sense to get a good actor to play that, but it's almost a thankless role. He's just running around with his head cut off, having to deal with not only these girls, but he's trying to deal with his boss, and I mean, his boss is played by Roger Moore, James Bond himself, who just constantly wants these girls to work, constantly wants them on tour, making money. They can't have a day off because they're just that hot right now. And I'm sure many of those conversations happen in real life. Other actors, Hugh Laurie has a small part in this movie. His scene is just a flash, like, not even a flashback. It's a dream sequence because there's like 5 dream sequences randomly of like, hey, what if this happened? Or hey, what about this? Or hey, here's a scene where all of the girls get judged by somebody on their future and where their fate lies. And it's pretty funny now, in retrospect, to see that judge look back and tell them that, hey, you girls in just a few years are going to be sitting back in some place talking about how you used to be famous. And I'm sure they were being tongue-in-cheek and being goofy, but it happened. That pretty much was their fate, and I thought that was quite entertaining. Dominic West, very small part. He plays like the camera guy who's taking pictures of them on a photo shoot. Just was like, wow, that's Dominic West. Elton John, of course, plays himself very, very quickly. Bob Hoskins in the weirdest cameo possibly of all time. And this is a guy that did Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But yet, this scene that he's in is so much weirder than anything that was in that movie. And Meatloaf plays their bus driver, so I guess that's a pretty important part. You know, this whole situation, like I said with the magazine editor, the scene where he conspires to do this, when he gets the idea to sabotage the Spice Girls, it's so goofy and over the top because that scene, he's talking to the other guy, he's laughing maniacally, it starts raining inside of the building, in the room, thunder and lightning. I'm like, what? Trust me, there were times where I laughed out of sheer stupidity of what was going on in this movie. There were times when I did cringe out of moments that were supposed to be funny, that they were clearly going for comedy, and it didn't really work. I had some fun. There was some fun to be had. The moment when, another subplot, there's these 2 guys who are trying to write a movie based around the Spice Girls, which, surprise, surprise, it kind of felt like that's probably the writing process of this actual film. And they're trying to figure out a concise, interesting script to go off of, and they dictate the last act, the bus chase. I thought that scene was quite amusing. But yeah, I can't say this movie is good. I can't. I'd be doing a huge disservice to anybody that wants to review and watch movies. It is ridiculous. It's a dumb film. But I think if you're a Spice Girls fan, if you love them as a group, their music, their work, how can you not enjoy this? I think it's clearly only based for them. Because anyone else is going to watch this and say, what the actual bloody hell? And I would not blame you. Yeah, it's one of those films. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Spice World. Do you like it? Do you love it? Did you grow up on it? Who's your favorite Spice Girls? What's your favorite song by them? Does it matter? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!